Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mount Carmel Area High School Silver Bowl, where tonight the 3-0 Red Tornadoes host an arch rival and 3-0 themselves, the Shamokin Area Indians. This, the 95th meeting between these two schools. There is just history upon history upon history upon this rivalry, and it's all going to come to a head tonight. Something's going to give in these two programs. The Indians, for the first time in a couple of years, Wayne, believe they've walked onto this field with a legitimate chance to win the football game.
Well, 1993 was the last time that they came out 3-0, the same as the Tornadoes, and they walked away with the win at that time also. So, you know, if history repeats itself, as everybody states, then that might be the case. But as you know, we got to play 4 quarters yet before you can make any predictions. And predictions you can just flush down the toilet when it comes to high school football, Warren.
Absolutely. This is just such a superheated rivalry. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, the stadium is now officially standing room only. That's how much of a crowd is here. This may be the largest crowd in 20 years, Wayne.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. Both communities have been the sparks have been flying for the last week. I know Mount Carmel and definitely down at Shamokin, and it was great to see. It's been the first time in a long time that I've seen the student body as wound up as they were about this football game.
Well, when you look at the crowd, and what struck me at 6 o'clock when you and I were here, we walked onto the field in our usual way of doing things and checked out the field, got a hold of Jose, went back for our french fries and all, but what stood out in my mind was the entire Shamokin Indian side of the stadium was full already. They were here early and in mass when they showed up. So, I mean, you know where they're standing on this thing.
You know, I was in class today, and there's Dave Marcheski. He's saying, we're going down at 4:30. We're going to rope off some seats and this and that, and we're going to tailgate, and they were bringing the crew down.
So, I mean, you cannot get a better atmosphere. The weather, and this has got to be the best weather in the last 100 years for high school football over the period of the last 4 games now. It is picture perfect. The temperature at game time is going to be very close to 70 degrees and fall into the 60s as the game commences. Humidity is about 60%. Nothing to worry about. A light breeze is blowing about 10 miles an hour at any given time here. You'll see the trees in the background rustling a little bit, but it is perfect football night for these two teams. And in a couple of seconds, we're going to see how this thing's going to turn out very quickly. We look over at the Shamokin Indian side of the ball. Of course, we want to look at the quarterback number 19, and he is Dustin Martin. And, of course, number 22, Rich Shikatano, will be the other real threat here. And he can throw 20. The fullback, we should see the fullback is Matt Filarski.
Right.
I think we're going to see a lot of different people in and out, just as we do at Mount Carmel area. So we'll keep you apprised of everybody that's going in there.
The slot man also, Chad Strumhofer.
Strumhofer, right. He's a speed
receiver.
Guy.
Right. He catches the ball, you're going to have some problems, along with the flash man, Shikatano.
The Red Tornadoes will kick off to the Indians, and they've got Shikatano down there in the middle, along with Petrovich and Stumhofer. Stumhofer's number 4 there. He's on the near side of us. Petrovich all the way on the other side with Shikatano Millen. And to show you the respect for Shinsky, Shikatano standing in his end zone.
Oh, yeah. Dave, I'll tell you what, Dave's been kicking the ball very well. Take a look at this again, down on the 5-yard line.
Shikatano drops the ball. He's fumbling it around there, and he's going to be nailed. And that was something we saw Southern do pretty much the entire game. But down there very quickly on the ball was Quintero and Dara. And I think we're going to look at big 66 coming out of that pile, Jonathan Novak.
Yeah, John Novak he's been showing himself again, time and time again on these specialty teams, especially on the kickoffs and on the punts.
All right, first offensive series for the Indians. The ball's at the 15-yard line, and Martin will bring him up, and he's got Dan Wilk in that backfield along with Shikatano right now. Wilk in the I-back position, Shikatano up front. We go to Shikatano very early, and he's going to pick up about 2 yards on a play out to about the 17. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Indians.
Now, Shamokin, of course, is looking at, and Carmi has talked about this, Coach DeFrancisco, the whole season, that they are coming out with a lot of speed, a lot more quickness and speed, a little bit smaller team, but their swarming defense and their fast offense has gotten them through their first 3 games.
This time Martin will leave Wilk behind him. He puts Chicatano in a slot position, and he gives it to Chicatano around the end, and Chicatano is met at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he may have lost a little bit of yardage. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Indians, and there was no movement on that left side of the defensive line, Wayne.
Now, Matsura came over, Swank was there, and Damian Buggy didn't even move. They just stayed right in their own positions and made the tackle.
All right, a big 3rd down now. 3rd and call it 8 for the Indians. Lines up in an I formation behind Martin. And Martin falls. He falls down. I think he tripped over a lineman. A lineman was trying to pull to give him pass protection, and he stumbled and fell down. He took a knee, and unfortunately he'll lose yardage. It'll bring up 4th down now and about 12 for the Indians. So they will punt on their first offensive possession. And what they're looking at, unfortunately, is giving Mount Carmel area some good field position depending on the kick.
I'm trying to see who's looks like number 7 is back there. Might be Jared Petrovich.
It is. He'll do the kicking for the Indians as soon as he throws away all the pads that they just threw at him there. Not sure what he was thinking there. You got Ledkavich on the near side here and Wargo on the far side to receive the punt. They're going to kick it in the direction of Ledkavich right at midfield. So he'll get some yardage as he turns towards the Shamokin bench, and a flag went down. A big return by Ledkavich, but a flag on the play, and that normally will go against the receiving team. We'll wait till they say it. But he takes the ball down inside the 25-yard line down to the 22 before he's wrestled out of bounds.
That had to occur over on this side in front of the Mount Carmel bench on the hash mark there somewhere, because when he threw the flag, there was nobody in that vicinity at all.
Yeah, it was thrown from the far side, so he was looking cross field a little bit. So we'll see, and it looks like it'll be a big one. It normally is. And when they mark it off, we'll give you exactly where the Red Tornadoes will start. They're going to give up great field position on the penalty and end up probably
holding.
Okay, it is holding against the Red Tornadoes, and that'll push the ball all the way back to the Shamokin area 46-yard line where the Red Tornadoes will set up shop. 1st and 10, their first offensive series of the game.
Now, one thing here on the Shamokin side, something that we've seen for a number of years is the swarming defense that Shamokin has. They're very, very quick off the ball and great movement towards it.
Handoff goes to Ledkavich, and he is stopped dead. In fact, he stopped for a loss on the play. Number 49 getting off the pile there, Matt Rhodes, and a couple of his friends, along with, I think it was 18 in there, also ran, 19, not 18,
Dustin Martin.
Quarterback.
Dustin Martin, the quarterback, also plays defensive end position, which is probably one of the toughest positions, the hardest work positions defensively.
All right, we're going to go out in a split backfield now with Brown and Matsura, I believe. And Brown, I can't tell for sure, but it is Brown. And Brown is going to rumble himself down over the 45-yard line down to about the 44-yard line. He'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Red Tornadoes.
Number 49, Matt Rhodes, getting up off the bottom of that pile for Shamokin.
Dara will bring the play in. Wargo's going to come out of that lineup for the Red Tornadoes. And Shinsky will set up here. Ball right at when they place it, it's right at the 45-yard line. So it's actually going to be 3rd and 9 at the snap of the ball here. Shinsky back to pass. He looks very quickly to the side. He's trying to get a hold of Matsura and almost intercepted by Martin. That was probably an ill-advised pass because they saw it coming.
They saw it coming. Martin just dropped back into the flat area, looking there for coverage. Excellent job, and he just took his eye off the ball. That was a score right there. He picks that ball off and goes.
All right, so a punting situation now for the Red Tornadoes at 4th and 9. Shinsky back in punt formation, and he's going to send it down there to Petrovich and Stumhofer. High kick to Stumhofer down along the 10-yard line. He's going to attempt to switch field, and he's brought down right down there, and that's going to be number 55 piling off the Mount Carmel area, Danny Evans, along with Quintero. He's stopped dead. So they'll take over. Not much different field position than their first series, down at their own 17-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 Indians. Nice coverage by the punt team for the Red Tornadoes.
I'll tell you what, Dave really puts that ball up high in it, and that's what you get when you get a good high kick, a good follow through, and it is going to be great coverage downfield.
All right, Martin will bring him up. He's going to keep Wilk in the backfield behind him. He's got Richie split. Richie Chickatown, number 22, is split out there, and he's going to right up the middle and about a yard on the gain. He'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 for the Indians.
Mike Lashinsky getting off there along with Stevie Matsura, number 21.
No huddle now for the Indians as they come out and line right back up again. Trying to get number 22 there lined up where he needs to be, Chickatano, and now he has Wilk in the backfield again. There's a little bit of no huddle for the Indians, and this time he's going to go back to pass. He's got some time. He looked over along the Indian sideline. He's got number 4, Stumhofer. We'll see where they put him out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
And this is the what they did in the first 3 games. It's a little flat pass, and then he breaks Stumhofer out on a down and out pattern.
All right, 3rd down and about 3 for the Indians. As again, no huddle. And Martin will bring him up, and he's looking to pass again. This time he's looking downfield, and he was trying to get out there to number 20, Matt Filarski, but just a little high. He was well defended, and the Indians will now have to kick on 4th down and a long 3. A little bit of feeling out here and a little bit of defense, which we thought the way this game would go, Wayne. Defense would dominate that first quarter.
But I'll tell you what, this is going to be an emotional first quarter on both sides until everybody calms down a little bit and starts to get into their train of thought here of what they want to do.
All right. Petrovich is back to punt for the Indians. Nice center, no pressure. Kind of a knuckleballer. It's going to bounce down, and it's going to roll dead just over the 50-yard line of Mount Carmel area territory at the 49-yard line. So again, good field position for the Red Tornadoes.
Starting about where they did in the last set, down around the 40, 45-yard line.
What a crowd, though, Wayne! Just absolutely, just a tremendous crowd. They're lining. They're 2 and 3 deep in the end zones here, standing.
In fact, it's great. Take a look over here on the track where they have the covering on.
They're standing on that.
Everybody's standing there.
All right, Shinsky brings him up, goes back to pass. He's looking for Wargo. He's got Wargo. His man had fallen down. Number 14, Joel Haddock, was on coverage, and he fell down, but he made a nice recovery, and he finally tackles Wargo down at the Shamokin Indian 32-yard line, where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Take a look at some of the pass patterns on both teams. They're trying to get man-to-man coverage and, split out trips on one side, put a single flanker over on the opposite side, on the short side of the field, and just running some short patterns. And you see what happens. Somebody slips and you break one for a couple extra yards.
Going to take it and pass it. He's got Brown wide open, but unfortunately, Brown, I think, is the guy they're going to call offside. Brown takes it inside the 10, down to the 5, but it's coming back.
Yeah,
it is coming back. Brown took a split-second step.
Yep.
Too much, and it was
what a play, though.
Illegal motion for the Red Tornadoes. They'll bring it back, but he was wide open. It's a shame to waste a play like that. The Indians won't let that happen again.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you'll probably see that play again. They cleared out that whole area and just had Brown sneaking out into the flat. And, how devastating he was last week when he got his hands on the ball. He was just running over people.
All right, it's going to bring up a 1st down, and that'll bring up 1st down and 15. And the ball back at the Shamokin area 35-yard line as Lashinsky comes into the lineup now, and Ledkavich exits. So we got Lashinsky and Matsura now split in the backfield for Shinsky. And he hands it off to Lashinsky, and Lashinsky's got some room there and pounds over to 35, down to the Shamokin Indian 31-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down now and 10 for the Tornadoes.
Tell you what, you watch that play. That's something we haven't seen. It was a fake dive going left first, and then he came back to Mike Lashinsky going over between Swank and the right guard, Joe Daukus, number 72.
All right, he gets Wargo all the way out here to the left. Keeps Kovaleski in. He's got plenty of time, and he's got Matsura open. And Matsura is going to go out of bounds at the Shamokin area 11-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 from the 11 as the Red Tornadoes now are moving the football on the Indians.
I'll tell you what, Shamokin is dropping back into a pass defense, and Dave has more than enough time to look over all the receivers. Now, the only thing is that puts pressure on the receivers that they do have to find the open area like Matsura did that time.
All right, the deepest penetration of the game. There's 6:27 remaining here in the first quarter of play. As Shinsky brings him up, he's got Letkavich behind him. He's kind of got that offset backfield. And the Indians have jumped offside. They knew the ball was coming that way by the lineup, and that was the side that jumped. It'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Indians, from what I can tell here. There it is, encroachment. Moves the ball down to the 6-yard line. So it's now 1st and goal from the 6.
Kovaleski goes in now, and
Letkavich
comes out. One thing here we've seen the last time we gave the ball over at Southern on a short field like this, we're going left and heading for the cone.
This time Kovaleski takes it down to the 1-yard line.
What a great play by Dave. One thing that we were told is that the defense, the nose guard here, as soon as I get it, Dan Chingara, he's a senior, but he's very, very quick. And you saw what happened there. He reached in and he grabbed the leg, grabbed the foot of Dave Shinsky. Dave was going down, but he was still able to hand the ball off.
All right, they brought the battering ram in, Brown. He's got Kovaleski in the backfield behind him, and they go to that heavy side. And this time it's going to be Shinsky on a quarterback sneak. And it's touchdown. He's in for the touchdown. It was a slow call, but Red Tornadoes have drawn first blood here at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Mount Carmel area 6. The Shamokin area Indians 0, and Kufta on for the attempt.
How many times? And again, you know, we run so many plays off that. And what we did was we put power over on the left-hand side there, right behind the tackle. We put Dave Brown and we put Matsura and left Kovaleski in the backfield. You know, defense shifts over that way, and Dave Shinsky takes it in for the score.
We're in trouble now. They're going to get it off. We were in trouble there, and he puts it through, but a flag, and I believe we took too much time.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know what we were talking about or what we were doing there, but we took too much time as Shinsky was looking at Coach Brennan the entire time and never got in there.
Yeah, we got movement. Yeah.
All right, because we just weren't set up. All right, so we're going to have to redo this again. Kufta, perfect on the year so far. Now he's going to have to kick it a little bit longer as he trots out there, number 4, having just a tremendous year this year. The thing I like about Kufta, he's a junior. He's coming back. All right, he'll try it back now from 5 yards further as Shinsky gets set up. Perfect back there. He puts it up, and he missed it. I don't know what took so long to decide that. The guy almost got hit with it. But that will leave the score at the 6-minute mark. Mount Carmel area 6 and the Indians 0. And Kufta, perfect record is shot. And we just screwed that up from the start about what we were doing and what we were lining. We just lined it up the first time, he'd be perfect. So I'm sure Coach Brennan will address that subject at halftime.
Well, not only that, he was trying to call timeout. And he'll probably tell Dave, anything happens like that, you know time is running down, you automatically call timeout.
Right,
you know.
Right. All right, so the Red Tornadoes now on the scoreboard. They're getting ready to kick off. And I'm sure it's a sigh of relief for the team that scores first. I'm not sure it means you win the game, but certainly you're happy that you scored first anyway. All right, we're trying to get everybody in line up here, and we're taking our time as they're talking to Dave out at their 40-yard line where he'll kick off from. Same group down there. Stumhofer's down there, Shikatano's down there, and Petrovich on the far side to receive the kickoff from the Red Tornadoes.
And the wind is picking up just a little bit. The breeze is picking up, and it is into Dave's face.
Yeah, it blew the ball off the tee, in fact. And we had seen it earlier when we first came, but it was only about 10 miles an hour. But it is predicted to get a little bit windier as the game goes on. So that may play a factor as we go. I'm not sure. The field is perfectly dry and in perfect condition. Of course, both these teams used to fields like this, as Shamokin area also has such a perfect football field. In fact, they're kind of the prototype for us. We played on it so many times. This one's going to go down at Petrovich as it bounces at the 20 and bounces past him a little bit. And now he's in a little bit of trouble, but Dara has him wrapped up. He's got over the 20-yard line out to the 23-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Shamokin area Indians, as they now have a deficit in this football game.
Well, you know, you could see what happens when you have such an emotional game like this. Shamokin trying to anticipate down there on the 10-yard line or on the 15, trying to anticipate a play or a call, and just because of emotions, you know, you're offsides, and that's 5 yards right there.
All right, Martin brings him up, and this time he's got a split backfield with Shikatano and Wilk in it behind him, and he's going to put Stumhofer in motion. We pitch it to Shikatano as he's trying to get over the far side there, and he's going to pick up some yardage. He'll be down at the 25-yard line. Pick up of about 4 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6 now.
I think Jared Petrovich was the only one left over. That is a student body. When you call a student body right or left, Shamokin had everybody going in that direction, leading for Richie Shikatano, the flash.
All right, Martin brings him up, split backfield. This time he pitches it to Shikatano the other way, and it's being strung out pretty well, and it is just demolished at the 23-yard line. He is just brought down hard. Lashinsky in there to stop that, but Mount Carmel area was all over that play. It'll bring up a 3rd and 9 now, as the Indians have lost yardage on that run.
Yeah, Leonovich did exactly what defense end is supposed to do. That was textbook. You string it out, and you make the runner cut up in front of you in the center of the field. And when that happens, your pursuit from your linebackers and cornermen and everybody else are coming over, and they're the ones that are making the tackle.
All right, he brings him up in a split backfield as he has in this set of downs, and now he's going to send Wilk out into that slot position. Leonovich will come back in now, and they're going to have a penalty on the play, and I believe that penalty is going to go against the Indians, and then one's going to go against the Red Tornadoes for, I'm sure it's going to be a major penalty against the Red Tornadoes. 5
against Shamokin, and then they're going to step off 15.
Personal foul against the Red Tornadoes. There it is. So they'll march at 5 backward for that, and then they're going to march at 15 the other way against the Red Tornadoes, and that should be very close to the 1st down when they set it down. And it is the 1st down. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Indians out at the Indian 34-yard line. All right, Martin brings them out. They're back into a huddle again. They were in no huddle for a while, but they're back into a huddle now. He has Wilk as the lone back behind him as he brings him up to the line of scrimmage. And he's going to go back to pass, and he's in trouble immediately. He's got Petrovich, and Petrovich is brought down by Kufta down at the 43-yard line.
We double blitzed that time. We had both Mikey Lashinsky and Steve Matsur coming in. But I'll tell you what, Jared Petrovich is another one that we have to watch along with Stumhofer.
All right, no huddle. They're back to the no huddle now at a 2nd down and 6 now. And now he goes back into shotgun. First, we've seen the shotgun from the Indians this evening. And he's going to let it rip. He's heading downfield down there to Stumhofer was, I guess, the guy. He had 14 down there along with him, Haddock, but I think Stumhofer was the major target down there, and he was well covered by the Red Tornado defensive secondary.
Yeah, Shikatano was there the whole way. In fact, Damien had slowed down a little bit because he saw that the ball was underthrown.
This will be a quick game. This is the first time we've seen a no-huddle in high school in a long time. But the Indians are bringing it up here. Now, again, back in shotgun formation goes Martin. He's got a 3rd and 5, long 5. This time he's going to pitch it out there, and he was trying to get a hold of Wilk. Wilk was in pretty good trouble if he did catch it, to tell you the truth. But it's going to bring up 4th down, and the Indians are going to have to punt the ball away.
They were coming out with that a second time. The first time they ran that, Wilk was wide open out on the flat when he released out of the backfield like that.
So field possession going to change a little bit finally for the Indians, as they're now going to be punting from their own 30-yard line or so when he finally kicks it. And that's a good thing for them, because they've had some pretty bad field position in the first quarter. 3:54 remaining in the first quarter of play. Good center to Petrovic, almost no pressure on him, and he's going to send a boomer.
Nice.
He gets Wargo rolling back to the 20. Wargo's going to come up the middle. He's got himself a little bit of a seam there, and he's still rolling with the seam, and now he's broken loose, and he's up over the 50-yard line. He's going to take it out of bounds, down in Shamokin territory, and a flag, a hit out of bounds. It's a hit out of bounds against the Indians, a personal foul going to be tacked on in the end of this play.
Nice. Greg, I'll tell you what, they set up the picket fence there, and you take a look at Wargo on about the 30-yard line when he starts out. It looks like he should have went to the outside, but he saw enough of defenders on the outside to block that, and what happened, he cut up right there. He cuts up in the middle of the pack to break it to the outside now.
So the Indians make a fatal error here almost. You did not need to tack 15 yards onto an already spectacular run back. Red Tornadoes will set up shop in Indian territory inside the 30 at the Indian 29-yard line, where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. This entire first quarter, has been played in Indian territory. This time we're going to go back to pass. Nice protection. He's now flushed out of the pocket, and he's running with it. He's up over the 25 down to about the 24-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down. A nice pickup for Shinsky. It'll bring up 2nd and 5 as he picks up 5 yards on the run.
Tell you what, Joel Haddock over there on that side, number 14. Great defense by the defensive backs on that side. They had all the receivers covered. Dave, of course, did what he had to do with it. He had to pull it back in and take off with it.
All right, and then we come back with a full house back for the I formation with Kovaleski in that I back, but we're going to give it to
Brown,
and Brown will pound it up down to the Indian 20-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 2 for the Red Tornadoes. And Brown is a force, especially with a small Indian team. If there's anything you want to say negative about them, is that they're very small. They're very quick, and it served them well, but they are small compared to us. You got Brown coming at you. That's a load to try to tackle. All right, 3rd down now. The ball down at the Shamokin Indian 20-yard line. We come up in that power backfield now. It's power to the left this time. We give it to Kovaleski, and Kovaleski, almost had himself a touchdown at the last second. I think that was Stumhofer. It was. Stumhofer saves the touchdown, but the Red Tornadoes now another 1st down, and now it's a 1st down at the Indian 14-yard line.
There's the case there where if Kovaleski, Mark keeps his head up and looks at the field, Stumhofer was already going down to make the tackle. He could have broke back into the center of the field, and that was a touchdown.
He was only trying to get 2 yards, so that's what he got. But same play, same exact play, and the Indians are hard-pressed to stop it in that power formation when we move to the tackle power there. Kind of bubble. We bubble it up there, and they're having a hard time now. It's going to bring up 2nd down now and 5 for the Red Tornadoes at the 8-yard line.
You got Joe Daukus, number 72, freshman, 220. Marshall Merarkey leading also junior, 250 pounds on that side. So
same exact formation, same exact play. And this time it's a touchdown. He went in for the touchdown. That's Ledkavich. And there's the play now. You're seeing smash mouth football. Yeah. The Red Tornadoes said, now we found one that's really working well. Stop it, and they can't. They're just overloading to the right side of the line, and they're using the tailback on the far side to take a step, give him a step to the line of scrimmage, and he's just bailing his way through. The Red Tornadoes now at the 119 mark of the first quarter, up 12-0, and we'll see if they go for 2, they will.
Yeah.
So the Red Tornadoes now having their way here in the latter part of the first quarter. They have just marched down in the last 2 possessions.
No, ball's on the right hash mark. We overload the left side.
We're going to go back and pass there. We had a guy open there. The guy open was Ledkavich. He was a trailer, and actually if Dave looked the other side, it was 2 points. So the score will remain Mount Carmel area 12 and the Indians nothing here in the waning moments of the first quarter of play. And it's been a great football game. The Indians truly struggling with field position.
Right, and that's the killer. You know, you talk to any coach, when you have your back against your own goal line for a whole quarter, you can't pull out all the plays that you normally pull out. You have to be a little bit more conservative. You know, you can't run your flat passes like you want to run. So you have to really play a different type of football game.
All right, we're going to get ready to kick this one off again, and Shinsky getting a little bit of work here. It's the third kickoff of the game for him already.
Okay, Dave Shinsky, I'll tell you what, is really putting his foot into the ball here the last 2 times, down to the 5-yard line. Again, we'll see what happens. Now we got Johnny Darrow holding the ball. The ball blew off the tee again. Again, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit more. Darrow holds it for Dave. Chicatano in the center of the field.
Another high kick, and this one's going to go to Petrovich, a little bit short, and he has some running room now as he cuts it right up the middle, and he's still moving there. Great field position, a great return by Petrovich.
He almost caught the seam right there. There was a seam right at the hash mark on about the 40-yard line, and he almost caught it, and that would have been a touchdown because he was already motoring at that point.
Best field position of the evening for the Indians, and they're all the way out to their own 47-yard line where it's 1st and 10. This gives them a little bit more room, as you talked about earlier, to start using more of that offense. Changing the football here.
Looks like somebody threw out a practice ball.
Yeah, because that doesn't even look like a football. Where that baby came from. Now the ball boy is getting a good talking to on the side. And he's going, what do you mean? These are the ones they gave me.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I didn't think I found one, did you? All right, we got the ball situation figured out. And actually they're using the uglier of the one. So I don't know what we're doing now. I mean, we've had 3 balls on the field now. Now we put that one down.
Oh, Shamokin had brought one out.
We stole the Shamokin ball.
Yeah.
That's dirty.
No, what they do is they give it to the home
team to bring in and out.
To take in and out.
All right, Martin will bring him up here. He's got himself in an I formation now. He's got Chicatano on the I back, and he's going to pass.
Ooh.
He looks to Chicatano, and he gets him, and Chicatano's in serious trouble already. He's going to lose yardage. He's going to lose a ton of it, in fact. Who made the tackle then? Did you see that?
That was, looked like Marshall Merarkey. The one that really busted that play up was Buggy.
Yeah.
Dustin turns around, and Buggy jumps up in the air at least 7 feet.
Yeah.
And, at that point, he had to pull the ball back down again.
All right, it's 2nd and 15 as a 5-yard loss on that play, and now he has just that lone back in the backfield. And he's going to roll and pass, and he looks back right away. He's looking for Stumhofer, but he's way too far, and it's intercepted.
Yeah.
Letkavich intercepted. He was way over Stumhofer's head that time, and Letkavich just kind of played center field and went back and got it. So the first turnover here of the evening at the 27-second mark of the first quarter, and the Indians squander their best field position of the evening so far.
Yeah, Johnny Darrow was back there, the corner. He dropped back into pass protection and had Stumhofer covered. And that left, Drew free. And that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to sit back there and roam, and if at all possible, he's supposed to go for the ball.
1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes, the ball on their own 26-yard line. And we put Brown and Kovalevsky in that I formation behind Shinsky. I'm sorry, that's Chicatano. Damian Chicatano back there, not 30, it was 32. And he's going to pick up about 3 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 7 for the Red Tornadoes. I didn't see Chicatano sneak in the backfield there.
That is the first series of downs that Damian is back there to carry the ball.
That, ladies and gentlemen, will bring the first quarter of play here at a jam-packed Silver Bowl in Mount Carmel to an end with the score Mount Carmel area 12 and the Indians 0. There was a gain. That was a gain of 1 on the play in that last play, so it's going to bring a second down to 9. He was on the far sideline. I thought he'd gained more than that.
Now you got Kovaleski back there.
Right, now we got Kovaleski back there, and Lashinsky's in front of him. And we're going to go back to pass, and Shinsky's in kind of trouble there, and he's got Matsura who catches it. And a great play by Matsura. Number 32 for the Indians down there made a nice play.
Derek Osavala.
At 33, right?
Yeah, well, he's got 2 different jerseys, I was told.
He's 33 in this thing, but he's wearing 32, I thought. But either way, a nice defensive play, but Matsura on a great offensive play. It's 1st and 10 for the Red Tornadoes as he takes the bobble and brings it down.
I'll tell you what, if Osavala watched that right into his hands, he was going for a touchdown because he had clear sailing on that side.
Now we're back in that power, and that's where we head to again. This time the Indians play pretty well. Number 25 for the Indians, Etzel, was the first guy to make the play down there, and he was followed up by number 31, Scott Bailey. So that's the first time now in 2 series they've actually stopped that play for little or no gain. It's about a 2-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 8. Kovaleski back in the lineup and Chicatano out now.
Yep, and we got Lean over Justin, number 41, back in also.
All right, Shinsky brings him up, I formation. He's going to pitch it to Kovaleski. He turns upfield out to about the 45-yard line.
Initial hit there was number 80, Mike Kavanaugh, the defensive end coming in and making the initial hit enough to slow Kovaleski down.
Gain of about 2 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 6. We come in a split back or a shotgun formation. I'm sorry, he's shotgun, fakes it to Kovaleski. He's trying to get outside, and he got. Oh, that was a dangerous play. Stumhofer had a touchdown had he been able to hold on to it, but Shinsky must not have seen him coming. He would not have thrown the ball where Stumhofer was coming head first into that play.
He just sat back. Chad sat back until the last minute and came up on that pass and went up in the ball. I don't know whether he was looking downfield or what, but he had a clear sailing. Nobody was there in front of him, and it just went right through his hands.
Brings up a 4th down situation for the Red Tornadoes, and Shinsky will be back to punt. And he lets a high boomer, Petrovich, all the way back inside his 10, and he dropped it. Now he's down in his own 5. And he almost got caught, and now he's got some running room, and there goes a penalty.
Yeah, but there was actually one over on this side. There's 2 flags down on the opposite side of the field. What a kick by Dave.
Man, oh man.
Ooh.
So we'll see what the penalties are here now. The one over on the other side is against Shamokin. I'm not sure what they called down here.
No, it must be.
They're both against Shamokin.
Okay, that's where it occurred, right there on the 4-yard line.
Right. That's where I thought it was. I didn't see the other guy threw it from a distance, but it's a major penalty against the Indians. It's going to sink them back in their own territory. That ball's going to finally get played. Oh my goodness, down at the 2-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Indians from their own 2-yard line. They have not had a lot of breaks go their way so far. There's 9:52 remaining here in the 2nd quarter of play, and the Indians are pinned. Martin will bring them out. And they just want to get a couple of yards here, and that's what they're going to try to do. And they've got more than a couple, and a nice pickup down there for the Indians, and I'll see his number. That's 32 for the Indians, and that's what we're talking about is Osavala. We're guessing. I'm hoping that's true. Because he's listed as 33 even in their program. But all right, so 32 Osavala gets him some breathing room all the way out to about the 9-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3 as he picked up 7 yards on the play.
Number 49, Matt Rhodes in the backfield as the fullback.
Ooh, Larry Little going there for the Indians, and he'll gain it. If he gains a yard, that's about it. We'll see where they move the stick there, and they do. About a yard in the play. It's bringing up 3rd down now and 2 for the Indians, and they would dearly like to pick these 2 yards up without having to punt out of their end zone. They have had horrible field position the entire night, and the one time they got good field position, they threw an interception.
And the thing of it is, they've sort of left the punter alone. The Tornadoes did not rush the punter at all.
No,
the
not
3
so
or
far
4
tonight.
times that he's punted up to this point.
All right, we'll see what the Indians have in store for us. They look like they're going to throw, but they are. And downfield they do, and he gets number 20 down there. Matt Filarski for a big gain, and the Indians are in business now. Out of the shadow of their own goalpost finally. Out to the Indian 31-yard line where it's 1st and 10. A nice pass by Martin that time in traffic to Filarski.
Very nice. I'll tell you what, came right up over the top of the line. Filarski had hit the seam. He saw the opening in the center of the field, although it is a designed play to go there. And Matt takes it down to about the 27-yard line.
This time we try to go up the middle. Very little movement in the middle there. Gain of about 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Indians. That's Brown getting off the pile down there along with
Marshall Markey, number 71.
71 on the stop. So gain of a yard, not even 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. The middle of that Mount Carmel area line is tough to run on. They have not given anything so far tonight.
Or this season yet. I'll tell you what, they've been tough all year long so far in the 3 games. Matt Rhodes, the only back in the backfield.
Timeout, and you could tell they were confused a little bit. The 2 guys on that far side were a little confused. Coach Carm calls a timeout at that 2nd down and 9.
And that's a good call. I mean, they're moving from their own 2-yard line and got some momentum going here. You don't want to kill it by delay a game and, move back now. So Coach did the right thing. Dustin calls timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you knew they were a little confused just by the way Martin was looking around there. So the best thing to do, I mean, you got timeouts, use them here, All right, Martin will bring them back up here now, and they're kind of settled into what they want to do now. And pretty much the same formation as they had. Just I don't think everybody knew what was going on there. He's got Rhodes behind him there, 49. And he's back to pass, and he's looking down there, and he's got Stumhofer for no gain. No gain at all will bring up 3rd and 9. Nice play by the Tornadoes.
Yeah, Justin Leonovich, number 41. He must have dropped off of his defensive end position into the flat and, makes a tackle over there.
Well, there you see it. You can see where he is. There's Leonovich. Look how far to the sideline he was.
Yeah.
So he had dropped back immediately off that end position in the kind of coverage that we were using. All right, 3rd and 9 now for the Indians, and he'll go back to an I formation with Rhodes as that fullback. And he'll give it to Osavala, who picks up some yardage, but he's only out to the 30-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down, and the Indians once again have an offensive series ending in a punt. So the Red Tornado defense standing tough here so far tonight against this high-powered and very, very quick Indian offense.
A little bit of different, you see this different situation here. Everybody's saying Shikatano, the Flash, being the tailback back there, Petrovich back there, Matt Rhodes and Matt Filarski. And, you're in different situations. You see Coach Carm putting different players in there.
All right, Petrovich back to punt. He's getting a little bit of a workout so far here this evening. The Red Tornadoes, again, absolutely no pressure whatsoever as he lets a boomer go. A nice kick in Wergel's direction. It's going to hit the ground and take a Shamokin bounce. A very good kick by Petrovich inside the 35-yard line of the Red Tornadoes, right at the 35, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes. And that was a nice punt.
Yes, it was. He kept it away from the receivers as much as he possibly could. Did not kick it out of bounds. Got good high distance on it and had good coverage on it too.
6:01 remaining here in the 2nd quarter as the Red Tornadoes break the huddle. He's got Kovalevsky back there, he's got Matsura back there, and he's got Brown. He's got that power formation. There's the play. We've seen it run to perfection there, and again,
Ball's
a fumble.
out. Ball's
Ball's on the ground. We'll see, and the Indians have recovered. The Shamokin area Indians have recovered a fumble at the Mount Carmel area 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians, and that is the best field position of the evening for the Indians as the ball squirted loose.
Now they just have to take their time, and here's where, you know, a team steps up a little bit. You have to capitalize on something that someone else has done. And Kovaleski going through, he was upended. He actually did a flip going through the line of scrimmage.
We got Wilk in that backfield along with Shikatana now. I'm guessing that's the speedier of the group, that backfield. And we're going to hand it to Wilk right up the middle, and he'll gain a couple of yards on the play out down in the 35-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. So a couple of yards on the play will bring up 2nd down and 8.
Again, you know, you take a look there, he's only a half a step away from picking up the 1st down, if not a lot more yardage.
A great field position here for the Indians as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Martin brings them up. Split backfield now. They'll have Wilk and Shikatano, the two smaller backs of that group that he shuttles in and out back there. And this time he's looking to pass, and he's downfield, and he's looking at Letkavich, and Letkavich intercepted it again. There's a penalty on the play, and I believe it's against the Indians, but he threw an interception to Letkavich, the second one of the evening, and I think the Indians are the ones going to be penalized here. Let us wait and see. It is. It's an illegal motion against the Indians. So the Indians have turned the ball over once again, this time squandering great field position as Letkavich comes up. And both of those interceptions were overthrows.
Oh, yeah.
He was just way above his receiver.
Yeah, Martin is more of a flat tight passer. You know, you get somebody on the flat 10, 15, 20 yards. The timing pass that they're trying to throw right now, you can see, number one, the coverage is there for the Tornadoes, and two, he is overthrown both times on that timing pass to Chad.
Ball's on the Red Tornadoes 7-yard line where they'll start 1st and 10. And they're going to go right up the middle this time with Brown, and Brown takes it up over the 10-yard line out to 11. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6.
Spread the defense out. That's exactly what he's doing. Putting a wide slot to the left-hand side of the offense and setting Brown up, keeping him as the blocking fullback. But again, as we've seen in the last couple games, that we run many different plays, a variety of plays just from that I formation back there. And when you spread out that defense, you know, it only takes one or two guys to get by.
It's time we showed that power. We're going to go to Wargo here. He's got it. Wargo sprinting downfield. He's being run down by Bailey, but he's not catching him. Touchdown. There you have it, an 89-yard pass by Shinsky to Wargo. Wargo with the magnificent catch on his fingertips and the run for the touchdown.
Yeah, that was a fingertip catch. You saw that Wargo was actually losing his balance down there when he was catching that ball. So he was doing everything he possibly could to make sure that ball was
Here it is. Watch it coming at you. Here you see it. He has good coverage, but his defender falls down right at the last second. Wargo keeps his feet, brings it in, gets him balanced. Watch him now. Watch this guy coming at him here, because you're going to see him get it. I think you may. I'm not sure where this. Kufta puts up the extra point. So at the 4:20 mark, you're not going to. There he is, right in your fielder. He just nearly catches him, but with that kind of speed, that's a long shot to bring it in. The Red Tornadoes now at the 4:20 mark of the second quarter of play here at the Silver Bowl out to a 19-0 lead over the Shamokin Indians, and that play, Wayne, I believe, had to stun the Indians a little bit.
I think so. That's the same type of timing pass. And again, what Shamokin's trying to do is they're trying to isolate Chad over on John Darrow on the side or on Shikatano. And they're running a timing pattern where Martin throws the ball up and Chad runs underneath it. We do the same thing. You know, we ran a wide slot to the right-hand side, right in the front of the Shamokin bench, and we kept Wargo over here on this side by himself. You put one-on-one, and you hope for the best.
Right. Just a magnificent play, 89 yards. It's all you can ask for in a pitch and catch situation there for a football team. So Shinsky will get ready to tee it up again. The Indians now a little shell-shocked on a big play like that as they were hanging tough in this game. 4:20 remaining. in the second quarter, and they need to desperately do something here before the half, I think, just to get some confidence back. Shinsky lets it rip. This goes to Stumhofer, and he drops it into the end zone. Goes right through his hands, and they have struggled catching the ball down there. That whole group of them goes right through Stumhofer as he was trying to get a little bit of a head of steam going there and took his eye off the ball. So the Indians will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
That one there was a little bit different than what Dave usually gets a good high kickoff. It's on the 5-10 yard line. That was more of a line drive type. And, you had to take it over the shoulder a little bit. It was a little bit higher than what he anticipated when the ball got to him.
All right, Martin will bring him out here now. He's got Chickatano and Rhodes in the backfield. Rhodes a much lankier fullback when he's back there than Wilk.
Oh, he's stronger, too. He's bigger.
Long count. We go right up the middle that time with Chickatano, and he'll gain a couple yards out to the 20, say to 23. 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7 for the Indians. Now, the thing is, and you're seeing that there, and that's good football. Don't panic.
Right.
Don't start throwing the ball all over the place here. You're not that far down, and you got a lot of time left in the football game.
Oh, definitely.
They got to play their game still.
There's 4 minutes left in the half yet. That's more than enough time, especially with the speed that they have. They can move the ball downfield quick.
All right, he's going to leave Wilk back there by himself in back of him as he brings him up, and this looks like a pass play coming here. Nope. It should have been. It should have been because blown up in the backfield completely. I'm trying to see who makes the turn there. It was the guy that blew it up. That's 66 or 56, right?
Rich Greco.
Greco all over that play.
Now we have to say Rich Greco's in playing defense tonight. We had 2 injuries, one at the game last week and another one during practice this week. And again, we've seen Rich Greco play about 5 different positions during the season. And I think he's found now a spot. He had no choice in the matter. He's going to play that position.
3rd and 10 now for the Indians. And Martin's looking to pass. He's under pressure, and he'll run. He's going to run right into Lashinsky, right around the 25-yard line where they'll place the ball down. He gained about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 4th down and 5 and a kicking. Again, punting from inside their own territory, which has become kind of a normal thing for them here so far this evening. And it's a fake.
Ooh.
And he's going to get the first down. He picks the first down up. A nice fake. Number 66 for the Red Tornadoes almost stopped that. John Novak.
Oh, baby.
But couldn't come up with the tackle. And the Indians will, on a little bit of fancy flea flicker, will continue to hold on to the ball with the 2:06 remaining in the half. And that's the kind of football we're used to from Shamokin.
He needed that, though. That's what's going to keep you going here in this half. But John Novak, number 66, coming across, and I'll tell you what, he made a great swipe at Petrovic to try to make the tackle.
Yeah. All right, Martin brings him up with a fresh set of downs now in that I formation. There's some movement in that Indian backfield, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty as Wilk is roughed up a little bit on. Greco's holding his hands up like I never touched him. He's giving the innocent look now. That wasn't me that did that. I never touched him. All right, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Indians here, a motion penalty. They just jumped a little quick. It'll bring up a 1st and 15 now. And they just cannot get on track. Every time they get a break, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot a little bit and take a step backwards. So not what Coach Carmel had hoped for here as the waning minutes of the first half are upon him. And he'll line them up now in a single back again. That's Wilk in back of him as he looks around. Back to pass. Nice fake that time. Oh! He was trying to get down the field down there to Filarski. 20 was I think the back he was aiming at. But again, he's just long on everything right now. He's going to try to. First of all, when he does that pass, the way he did it there, he did a nice fake and he turned, but he didn't get his feet set. His feet aren't under him right away when he's throwing. He needs to just calm down for a second, I think, to get his feet underneath him, and he'll get a better pass. They're sailing on him a little bit, and he's not able to control it that well. Bring up a 3rd and 10 now for Martin. And he drops back to pass, and he's looking downfield down here. He's got Stumhofer. Stumhofer brings him into Red Tornado territory at the Red Tornado 48-yard line. Nice pass that time. And there Dustin set himself up, looked downfield, and he hit Stumhofer right where he wanted to. And it's 1st and 10 in Mount Carmel area territory now with 1:34 remaining in the second quarter.
It looks like Dustin's much better when he's rolling out rather than trying to stay in the pocket. He gets too much pressure when he stays in there. But he's a better passer when he's rolling out and he's in motion.
All right, the Indians in business again here now. As Martin will bring him up. Back to pass again as he looks downfield, and this time he's trying to get a hold of Shikatano, and he couldn't hold on to it. Covered down there by Leonovich, the defensive end, staying foot for foot with Shikatano there. Gives you some idea of his speed. So 2nd and 10 now for the Indians.
Again, Leonovich is doing a lot of flat work here. Although we're in now that I look at our defense, we're in this 4-4 defense here. And what happens, we put Brown into the tight end, we drop Leonovich out into a corner position.
All right, Dustin will go back to pass again. A nice fake this time. He's keeping it, but Matsura all over him. Matsura will bring him down at the Red Tornado 45-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Indians. And the clock is running. The Indians not in a huddle again. They're going no huddle, and they've done that on and off here throughout the first half of play. Now they need to get everybody settled as Petrovich is trying to figure out what the play is.
I think number 7's trying to figure out what the play is.
Petrovich is coming across there. So we get everybody set up, but they're going to have to hurry this up a little bit now because they're wasting a lot of time. He's got Stumhofer down close off to his left, and he looks over, and he threw it right to Leonovich. Intercepted again. 3rd interception of the night for the Indians, and Leonovich was imperfect. He saw that whole thing coming.
He saw it. Dustin Martin was looking just to one receiver that time, and he threw it right in that direction. There was no doubt about it that Leonovich was stepping up in front to make that interception.
Now see, there's a case of him not maybe knowing that a defensive end is out there and what he's doing there. Well, this is a very odd coverage right now that the Red Tornadoes have used in the last few series. We're going to go up the middle, and we got a nice run by Letkavich, although a flag is in the middle of the field there. Letkavich still running, still changing fields, and finally down at the Shamokin Indian 33-yard line, but a motion penalty will bring this play back.
Yeah, it sort of looked like we got a little bit of leaning, a little bit of motion before that ball was snapped.
So a nice run by Letkavich. He's an exciting player when he has the ball, I'll tell you that. But all for naught as the ball will be marched back. There are 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. I expect the Red Tornadoes will run another running play here as the big guy Brown comes off for a kind of a pre-breather before halftime. All right, I formation. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to do, and we do. Although Letkavich now another nice play by Letkavich, and he's free, and he's going to take it down to the Indian 39-yard line, and again, a hit out of bounds. And that was a close play there, I thought.
Yeah, that was a close play. The defender was coming in, and he actually turned his back to Letkavich as he was sliding out of bounds, and that was a close one. I don't know if that flag should have been thrown that time.
Personal foul against the Indians. You're right. It was right in front of us here at the Mount Carmel sideline, which led gave a little impetus to try to throw the flag when everybody yelling at you. But really was I think a tough call that time. I'm trying to be fair about this, and I think that was a tough call. All right, so the Tornadoes now are 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line of the Indians, and they have 12 seconds left to do something. We'll see what they do. Is Shinsky's going to go shotgun. They're going to probably take a whack into the end zone, maybe, as he does. Oh, just out of Wargo's fingertips there, and he also had Matsura down there.
Yeah, some coverage, number 14, Joel Haddock, and I think Joel, he went for the interception that time and sort of distracted the receiver Wargo on the sideline. And
there you have it. There you see
just went right through his fingers a little bit,
It took about 3 seconds off the clock, and they'll line it up again now. 2nd and 10 from the 25 as Kovaleski trots off the field for the Red Tornadoes. And I'll put Cabbage in that backfield. And there's a timeout. We had a capacity crowd at Supper Club last night. I mean, capacity crowd. It was just stuffed in there. We had some great conversations with the kids and, of course, with Coach about the Southern game and, of course, everything we needed to know about the upcoming Shamokin game. Just a great time down there. You got to come down. I mean, just come down once if you won throughout the year, but you got to come down and really enjoy the spirit of that thing. That is really.
And not only that, you get to meet the kids. And not only that, you get to meet the kids. You get also to meet the cheerleaders are down there for the home games and everything. So you do see the kids that put their time and effort into this program.
All right, shotgun. We're going to look again to try to get it down close to the end zone. Shinsky lines it with nobody around him now. And even he doesn't know.
I think we're short a guy.
He's looking around. There's somebody. We had a timeout to do this, and we didn't do it.
Trips right. We flooded over there with the.
Look at everybody in the world down there. He's got Cabbage. Touchdown! Drew Cabbage and a fabulous catch by Cabbage. And oh my goodness, now the Indians are stunned. This game is away from them now.
They had 3 receivers right down there with Drew Cabbage, and nobody made a move for the ball. Again, Drew Cabbage is just having. But it's everything. Everybody told us about that kid. It's just that he needed his opportunity, his chance to get in. And boy, I'll tell you what, in the last 2 games, he has certainly stepped up one.
Kufta puts the extra point up with 3 seconds remaining here in the half. Mount Carmel area out to a 26-0 lead, and the Indians are now in trouble. I didn't want to say it before because I really felt the game wasn't that far off, but they got to get in at halftime. They have got to do something and regroup offensively, or this game's going to start to get ugly.
Well, offense and defensively. They have to do something defensively also to stop what Dave is doing with his arm. I mean,
he's tearing them apart.
I mean, he's just picking everything out, and
Shinsky just having a monster first half in a big game.
Woo.
Monster first half for Shinsky, and of course the receiver, Cabbage, another monster first half. 2 interceptions, a touchdown catch.
Yeah.
I mean, what does he do next? Just unbelievable first half of play for the Red Tornadoes, and they have come out and showed once again that they are everything they were billed and then some. As any critics that were left, I think, are pretty much gone now.
Touchdown pass was from Dave Shinsky to Drew Cabbage. Kicking off, Dave Shinsky.
Okay, they're going to bounce it down there, and they do. It's covered down there by number 63 for the Indian. That's Matt Klein, 5'10", 155 junior guard. All right, there's going to be 2.7 seconds. I'm going to be accurate again.
Yes, but you know what?
What?
We have the decimal point on our scoreboard.
That's true. They didn't have that last week. I was shocked. I didn't want to say anything.
I actually got the marquee out. I was going to put it on your eyeglasses right in the center, so when you looked over there, you'd find it.
All right, I don't think the Indians are going to do anything goofy here. I think they're going to run the ball and get out of this thing. They do. To Shikatano, he picks up some nice yardage, but he's down. Gain of a couple yards, and it's over. The ball hit the ground. We recovered it at the end of the half. And so, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first half of play here in the 95th revival of this storied rivalry, it is Mount Carmel area 26, the Shamokin area Indians 0. And we'll be back shortly with the first half stats. Okay, gang, we're back here to get this second half started here in the Silver Bowl. But first, Wayne is going to give us the first half statistics according to the man who would know, Jose Gonzalo.
Well, on the Tornado side, rushing department, 16 attempts for 72 yards. Kovaleski, 5 for 22. Brown, 3 for 11. Letkavich, 3 for 25. Man, he's having just an outstanding game. Lashinsky, 1 for 5. Shinsky, 2 for 6. And Shikatano, 2 for 3. In the passing department, Dave is having one heck of a game. 5 of 8 for 167 yards. Wargo with 2 great catches that he had. 2 for 109 yards. Matsura, 2 for 33. And LaCavage, 1 for 25 with 9 first downs. On the Indian side, in the rushing department, 18 attempts for 34 yards. Passing, 6 of 14 for 51 yards with 4 first downs.
Right there you see it, and that pretty much is indicative here of the score. The Red Tornadoes really having their way in the air and not doing too badly on the ground. They've kind of mixed it up and had very, very good success. We want to tell you now, as you're looking at the field, as we pan to the right, as we get down into that far end zone where the stands are not, the empty end zone, a light bank has blown. The light bank blew right as the half came to a close, and they have not been able to repair it. That side of the field, they're going to continue to play the football game, but that side of the field is extremely dark. It's the home side in that left-hand corner, right, as you're looking at the monitor and at your screen. So be aware of that. The camera will have to adjust as it comes into that corner from the light into the dark. So stay with us. They are frantically trying to fix that light standard now to see what went wrong. But as of now, it is dark. And part of this field in the corner is also dark. As the Indians kick it off, that's Chickatano gives it a nice kick. And Wargo finally comes up with it as he looked at Chickatano a little bit, and Wargo will come upfield with it. And he comes up over the 25-yard line out to about the 38-yard line. We're going to be 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Number 49, Matt Rhodes for Shamokin makes a stop along with number 14, Joel Haddock. Now, it sort of looks like this.
Standard's back on, it looks like.
Yeah,
right?
It looks like it's just starting to come on. They're halogen lights, and it takes some time. Once they go off, it takes maybe 5-10 minutes for them to regenerate and come back on again.
That's good news and great work by the Red Tornado field crew. Brown on the carry up over the 30-yard line out to the 36-yard line.
Dustin Martin, number 19, making that stop.
Gain of 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7. And yeah, that light is getting brighter, Wayne. So good work by the Mount Carmel area grounds crew to get that light standard back up and running, and we should be at full strength here in a couple of minutes. Thankfully, we are starting at the lighted end of the field, so it's not affecting us right now. As the Red Tornadoes come up to the line of scrimmage, and we give it to Kovaleski, and he's got some room.
He's got the outside, and he's
Kovaleski's running. It's going to take, he cuts back, and finally brought down number 14. Haddock slowed him up.
Yep.
But Kovaleski on a magnificent run as he cut to the Shamokin area sideline down there. And he's finally brought down in Shamokin area territory at the Shamokin area 21-yard line, and the Red Tornadoes have started where they left off.
They kicked out. Brown comes in and makes a block and actually blocked 2 people. But the speed of Kovaleski, he just blew right by a few defenders as they were just standing there. That
was Bailey, 31, who made the touchdown-saving tackle for the Indians as he made a nice play coming from behind and finally brought Kovaleski down. Brown right up the middle, and Brown is pounding, and Brown is still pounding. And Brown all the way inside the 5-yard line down to the 2, where it's 1st and goal. Red Tornadoes on the Shamokin area Indian 2-yard line. And this is going to turn ugly if they don't stop them right now.
Well, I think it's going to be tough. And I'll tell you what, after that run by Brown, I think you're going to see Brown probably carrying the ball here into the end zone.
We send Kovaleski back into the lineup. He's coming in a little bit late, so he needs to get the play. Brown will line up in that fullback position in the I formation. Kovaleski in back of him. Shinsky will bring him up. And you're right, it's Brown, and they're not stopping Brown on 2 yards. No signal. I don't know what anybody looked at here.
Well, I don't know what the back judge waits for until the last minute, but the line judge all the way over on the other side, he made that call.
It's a touchdown at the 10-20 mark of the 3rd quarter. The Red Tornadoes bounce out to a 32-0 lead with Kufta on to attempt the extra point, but that's the 2nd slow touchdown call of the evening here. Everybody knew it was a touchdown. Kufta puts it up and through.
I'll tell you what, he has some excellent form as he's kicking his extra points.
So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Red Tornadoes come right out drive the ball right down Shamokin area's throat for a touchdown, and the Indians are in trouble. They need to regroup. They need to put some offense together. They need to keep their defense off the field. They spent a lot of time on the field in that first half, and it started to wear down a little bit. They are, Mount Carmel area, as we said at the beginning, a much, much bigger team. And that's unusual. Shamokin usually a pretty, I mean, they used to be, remember they had the apartment building that time, and I mean, they had some big kids. They are a very small, quick team, but I think the size advantage is beginning to wear on them a little bit here. You can see offensively, as we are just having our way with them. Coach Carmel, I'm sure, had a lot of good ideas at halftime, and they've got to try to get them rolling as they take the ball back on offense here. Very quick score, and that was just a tough one to have to give up so quick here.
You know, you wanted to put up a good defensive stand there so you can get your offense back on the field and get a little bit of momentum going on your side so you can score.
Sinski will line them up. Shinski's done a lot of work so far kicking off here. And again, another line drive right at Stumhofer. This time he feels it on the fly, and he's got himself ahead of steam, and that's where he's the most dangerous. He's out over the 30-yard line. That's with the 33. Lashinsky is one of the guys that brought him down there, and it looks like Novak, the other guy, 66. Lashinsky and Novak bring Stumhofer down, and the Indians will start 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line.
Yeah, now we got number 77, Scott Novak is in on defense, playing that left tackle position. He's also in on offense playing, and tonight I'll tell you what, he's the third man in the depth chart here, and he's just doing an excellent job on offense for just coming in raw. He hasn't started in that position. He's got some playing time in the tackle position, but not as started with the first team. And I'll tell you what, hats off to him tonight, because he is doing the job that needs to be done.
Well, somewhat surprisingly, the Indians come out for their first offensive series, and they need to call a timeout before they run a play. I'm not sure what was going on in there. Wilt kind of trots out of the huddle there, but that's kind of unusual. You would have called a timeout so early, especially when you didn't have an offensive play yet. You thought you'd pretty much know what that one was going to be. We had the food bank drive tonight, as we were here at the front gate there. They were challenging Shamokin area, Mount Carmel area. Mount Carmel area won the food drive, but I got to tell you, I mean, I say that kind of funny because the only winners are the people who are going to benefit from it. Reverend Schaub here in Mount Carmel and his counterpart in Shamokin did just a fantastic job, and a lot of people are going to benefit around the holiday season because of it. I want to say thank you to Shamokin area and Mount Carmel area for really coming out big for that food drive. Ball's on the ground. Dustin,
and again, it's on the
still
ground.
On the ground. He may not have recovered it. Let me see what he did finally. He could not get the handle on it. You're right. 2nd down, back at the 30-yard line. A loss about 4 in a play. It'll bring up 2nd and 15 or so. And the Indians just cannot get on track now, as everything that can happen to somebody happened to them right now. The thing looked like it was hot. He just couldn't get his hands on it.
He tried 3 times and just could not pick up the potato.
All right, Chickatano's going to come wide all the way to the Mount Carmel area side of the field here, as Kufta will come out to look at him as they go into an I formation for Martin. And Martin's going to pitch it back there to Petrovich, and Petrovich is brought down. Gain of about 3 in a play. That's Leonovich all over him. Leonovich is playing one whale of a game with that defensive end position over on the right side of the ball for the Red Tornadoes.
Marshall Morarki, number 71, in for tackle. Rich Greco, 56, out to take a rest.
Coach Brennan is lecturing the line judge down here. I'm not sure what he's telling him. The Indian lineup, it's 3rd and 12 now for the Indians in a split backfield now with Rhodes back there as the big guy in that split. And we hand it to Chickatano on a quick one right near the center guard position there, and he takes it out to the 35-yard line. Getting about 5 on the play. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 8. And then once again, the Indians will have to kick the football. they just have shot themselves in the foot just by between penalties and dropping the ball and interceptions tonight. It's just been a very, very tough night for the Indians offensively. And quite frankly, there was so much more expected, from this offense after seeing it in the first 3 games. So Petrovich will kick it. There's a penalty flag flying already. Wargo's the lone guy, and he calls for a fair catch at the Red Tornado 32-yard line. We'll see what the flag is, and we'll see if Coach Brennan's going to want him to kick. I believe it's against the Indians.
Yes, motion.
If he wants to re-kick it, and I believe he may do that. They're going to decline it. They do. They decline it. So if they decline it, why are we all walking up the field still?
Well, at the first call, they were sort of they thought that somebody must have made the motion that they were going to kick it over again.
I mean, the Indians are already huddled again, so they're going to have to break huddle. Nobody told them that we declined it. So we'll take over 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. There are 8 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play at the Silver Bowl. Just great to see these two communities come out like this on both sides of this field. Just a jam-packed night here in the coal region where football is truly football. You can play football a lot of places, but until you've played it here, you haven't played it. Handoff up the middle. And I can't see who that is right this second, but I'll let you know when he gets up. It's number 80, the end that brought him down. Now, it looks like Lashinsky. It is. It's Mike Lashinsky on the carry. Number 80 down there. That's Kavanaugh on the stop. And now Brown will trot back into the Tornado huddle, and Lashinsky will come out.
And Nate Morgan, number 28, is in as a receiver. They'll go into the slot position over there with Tim Wargo as the wide receiver.
We're going to give it to Chicatano, so Damian cuts upfield. He's going to gain a couple yards in the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 6 for the Red Tornadoes at the Red Tornado 39-yard line.
Number 49, Matt Rose,
Boy, a lot of people play on both sides of this football tonight. One thing about both these coaches, they don't hesitate to liberally substitute people in and out of the ball game.
And in this type of game, though, you have to, because that number 1, it gives the kids experience, and number 2, it keeps fresh legs in there the whole time.
I mean, both teams run entirely different backfields at given times in the game. This time we give it to Kovaleski, and Kovaleski running hard, as we had seen him running hard last week, and he's continued it for the 1st down, and he's up to the Red Tornado 49-yard line where it's 1st and 10.
I'll tell you what, if Kovaleski was not tripped up going through the line of scrimmage, that was a big gainer. He had a head of steam on him, and you could see he picked up the 1st down with extra yardage, 5, 6, 7 yards, even stumbling through and losing his balance.
Yeah. So Matsura gives Kovaleski a break. Kovaleski gets a hand as he comes out. Yes, he comes out, and he deserves it. He's played a great football game on the offensive side of the ball for the Tornadoes. This time Shinsky keeps it, and I don't know, again, I don't know if that was a design play or not, but he does.
Sort of looked at it. It looked like it was just it looked like a draw play, fake dive, especially with Brown leading off there, going down through, and Dave just kept and went through where the tackle and guard were at that point in time, and picks up 8 yards.
So the Red Tornadoes continuing to move the football here on offense. They have not been stymied much by this Indian defense. Back to Kovaleski again, and Mark will get the 1st down. They're going to place him down at the 40-yard line, where we 1st and 10 again for the Red Tornadoes, now in Indian territory, with 5:38 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
I'll tell you what, Kovaleski, last week and this week, he must have found something out here, because he's running with a lot more intensity than what he did in the first 2 ball games, and you can see the big difference in the way he runs the ball now.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the improvement, and you know, they say that. Remember, he didn't run the ball much before, this. So he's really proven himself, though. Nice move by Shinsky, and that's a flag.
Yeah.
Matsura down inside the 30-yard line, down to the Indian 28, and another unsportsmanlike penalty is going to go against the Shamokin Indians for piling on. That's another unfortunate penalty, and that has been the case. And one thing to remember about the Indians, and this is a shocking thing to remember, they have averaged, as a high school football team, 10 penalties a game.
Wow.
That's almost unheard of in high school football, and they're proving tonight that those penalties are killers.
Yeah, they hurt.
They need to get disciplined that way. Those penalties in a big game, they're okay in a game where you're handling somebody, but you're in a tight game and you're trying to win, and you start piling on 3 and 4 15-yard penalties plus the rest of those 5-yard ones. It starts to take its toll, and it has tonight as the Red Tornadoes now are on the 14-yard line, 1st and 10.
Oh, Lashinsky Mike kept his legs going as he went through the line there. He was hit at the line of scrimmage and picks up 5 yards on that carry.
We'll bring up a 2nd and 5 now for the Red Tornadoes. All right, we get set up here. Shinsky's looking around. He's trying to tell somebody something. He looks downfield in the corner down there, and he's trying to get
Dara,
and he does. Touchdown.
Oh,
Touchdown, Johnny Dara, and a nice catch in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
Nice catch by Johnny Dara. Nice throw. Just that fade throw. Took a couple of steps back, and there was Dara.
You could hear some of the grumbling in the first 2 games, but I'll tell you what, Dave gets into his groove. And we know what he can do. We've seen him, since his freshman year.
He's having a fabulous night.
I'll tell you what, that little flat pass that he throws, the little on the sideline right before you go out of bounds, and it was just high enough. Dara had to go up for it, but Dara also had to make sure that his foot was in bounds when he came down, and he did. I'll tell you what, Dave is now stepping up and proving to everybody that he's the quarterback that we know he could be.
There you have it. You can hear it in the background. The entire stadium on the Mount Carmel side and in that far end zone with all been red down there has given the Red Tornadoes a standing ovation as they come away from that extra point by Kufta. They lead with 4:15 remaining in the 3rd quarter, 40-0. And ladies and gentlemen, that has invoked the mercy rule. The 3rd game in a row, Mount Carmel area has put the mercy rule on a team. The clock will now continue to run except in exceptional circumstances. This game will be over very quickly under the mercy rules, and that's the way that the PIAA wanted it. So
the ball goes out of bounds. The clock is stopped for a second, and as soon as it hits the ground, or the ball's thrown back in, and it's going.
Shinsky will kick it off once again. Down to Stumhofer again, and Stumhofer feels it cleanly this time, not around the 7. He's got himself a head of steam this time as he splits the field a little bit, and he's finally brought down in there. That's a nice tackle by Kufta.
Yeah.
Kufta down there at number 37, John Scheiko, stopped the touchdown as Stumhofer, and you can see the dangerous player he is when he gets rolling. You give him a little bit of room, he's going to hurt you. He takes it out to the 42-yard line.
The last 2 games, I'll tell you what, get him the ball out in the flat. That Martin did as a receiver. He scored, he hurt everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he is just a good-looking football player. You got to contain him, and we have the bad part. Well, he's a senior. I was going to say, okay, for Mount Carmel area, it's good. For Shamokin area, it's bad that he'll be leaving, but we kept him in check, but you can see his danger. Chicatano now at the ball, and Lashinsky's going to drag him down at about the 44-yard line of the Indians. Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll bring 2nd and 7.
Now, one thing you have to realize, and that's one thing you're talking about, Stumhofer being a senior. On offense, they only play with 4 seniors, so they have a lot of underclassmen. On defense, they're only playing with 3 seniors, so they're going to have some experience again coming back next year.
Yeah, a lot of potential on this Indian team. Absolutely, they're a very young football team. Martin's going to go back to pass. He's under trouble there a little bit by the big one, Swank, and now he goes down, and that's Buggy, who finally brings him down. A little hope from Leonovich, a little hope from Brown, but Swank was the guy that blew the play up. The big guy, 54, and I talked about him last week as being an all-state candidate, and I'll reiterate that he is. And,
I mean, how many can we name on this team?
No, I mean, you got Shinsky truly legitimate there. I mean, he will be an all-state player when this season's over, no matter how far we go. And I said we'll talk about a few others as we go here. there's some outstanding athletes on this Mount Carmel area side of the ball that we want to talk about. You know, Matsura, the hard part for Matsura, you want to talk about him, but he's played so many positions and it almost hurts him.
Yeah.
That he's not in one position all the time, and that's a shame.
Although it's his linebacker position that he really stands out in, you know.
So, I mean, I think he's legitimate when you look at that side of the ball. And, you know, I mean, I just think there's some great players here. Swank was the guy we've seen so much of, so obviously this is the breakout year for him. This is the year I think he's going to go.
Him and Dave Brown.
And Dave Brown, absolutely. I mean, Dave Brown, this year will be for him, too. Just some outstanding athletes that we've watched come through this system and play good football, but now they've really peaked. You know, and you can see it. And Swank's always been a favorite. Randy's just a great kid. I've enjoyed him from day one. And I just still do. I love watching him play, and just kind of kid around me. He has a great sense of humor, and I know that because he hasn't killed me yet. There's Wilk, and Wilk is free, and he's brought down by Dara, and a good tight tackle by Dara out at the 47-yard line. It'll bring up fourth down and a 7 or so, I guess. We'll see what the Indians want to do on a 4th and 7. I'm sure they're looking at Petrovich, and they're gonna kick. But it'll be fun to watch them through the rest of the season, and of course we keep playing like this into the playoffs, and just a great bunch of kids, especially the seniors, because you've seen them at Supper Club so often. You really get to know these kids a little bit, and you just find out how much fun they really are to be around. And he said you can kid Randy and kid Randy and kid Randy. He hasn't killed me yet, so he's got to be a great guy. So they go for it as Martin. He's going to pass down there, and he got his pass is connected to 44 down there for the Indians, and that's Sean Bickert. Bickert's a big guy, and he's going to get the first down, so the gamble pays off for the Indians. Minute 3 seconds remaining in the football game as they move the stakes down there, inside a minute now. And really, time is just going to be the main factor now. No matter what Shamokin does now with the mercy rule in effect, the clock will just keep draining away from them. I know that Coach Carm would dearly like to put some points on this board. Martin again back to pass, and he's flooded that whole group. And this time he's got Stumhofer out there, and that time to play, and there it goes. A block in the back right at the 40-yard line. It'll come back, and that's what we said. This is just such a penalized football team. They need to stop this next week. I mean, it has to stop for them.
Well, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're playing Pius the 10th.
Pius the 10th, and they're in for a game. Pius the 10th is on a tear. Since we beat them in that opening game, they have been on an absolute tear. Now they're playing in Brooklyn tonight.
Well, the week after we played them, they traveled 6.5 hours to Pittsburgh to take on Sharon, who was ranked second in the state, and beat Sharon.
And then they beat Sharpsville the following week.
The following week.
Again, so So they are a team they're reckoning with. So the Indians need to get tightened up. I mean, penalties at this level, and we put 10 on a game. I mean, that is just horrible. So I know Coach DeFrancesco's working hard at that, and that's one area that they need to improve in. All right, it's going to bring up first down and 17 now with the penalty as Barton brings them up. He's got a split backfield, and he fakes the handoff, and he pitches it, and that's a good way to get your guy killed. Chicatano, the pitch was short. Chicatano made a nice play to pick it up. Picks up some yardage on the play, about a yard. It'll bring up second down now and 16 for the Indians, and that was a dangerous play by Martin. He hadn't seen the option until that point in the game.
Yeah, it was a dangerous play, but he had some pressure coming in from that side, on Bugging's side, I guess it was, on Lee Overger's side. And, you know, Martin pulls the ball back in and then tries to pitch it through a little hole, a gap that he had seen there, you know. And again, like you said, that's dangerous because, number one, you're not following your pitch man. You know, you're not leading him the way you should be leading him. And you see what happens. He pitched it short, and it was on the ground.
So that was the end of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, with the score of Mount Carmel area 40, the Shamokin area Indians 0. It's been an outstanding game by the Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes on both sides of the ball. They truly were shining in both areas. And I think that the quickness that people didn't give us credit for, I think are now going to, we were big, and now we're also big and quick.
You know, I think a lot of people were still looking. You know, they didn't see the first 3 games, and they were still looking back to last year. We were big, we weren't as quick. This year, not only do we get bigger, stronger, but we got a lot quicker.
All right, Martin will bring him up. He's got one guy in the backfield behind him now. And he's in trouble immediately, and he's brought down by Matsura. Immediately, Matsura just shot the gap, brings Martin down, and now it's going to be third down, and I can't even, let me try to calculate this one because this is going to be real bad. It's going to be third down and
23?
20, let's see, that's 10.
22 they have.
22, okay. Third and 22 now for the Indians on that sack by Matsura as he blew through, and I think we'll start seeing some different colored, or different jerseys coming in here very shortly for the Red Tornadoes as they are in complete control of this football game at the 11:20 mark of the fourth quarter. Red Tornado fans just having a party over here now with the cheerleaders in front of them. Quick kick by Petrovich, a nice kick. I mean, really did what it was supposed to do, although when you're down 40-0, you don't quick kick. I'm a little, again, surprised there at the quick kick call, but falls down at the 25-yard line where the Red Tornadoes will take over first and 10. And the reason I say I'm a little surprised with a quick kick is although they were third and 100,000 yards, we weren't going to rush the kicker on fourth down. You know, that wasn't something you were going to do, so somewhat of a surprising call of a quick kick there by the Shamokin staff. But either way, the Red Tornadoes will take over first and 10, and Leonovich now into the offensive huddle for the Red Tornadoes, and we'll see where he lines up at. And also we have changed quarterbacks.
Number 10 goes in Mike Sosnowski, Jr., 155 pounds, goes in as your quarterback now.
So a new quarterback for the Red Tornadoes.
Nate Morgan, number 28, is in a slot position.
Ooh, that's Chicatano, and he's bottled up right at the line of scrimmage there. He's hit hard by a couple of Shamokin Indians. That's Rhodes getting off that pile and Kavanaugh getting off that pile down there. So it'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Red Tornadoes. No gain on the play as the Tornado coaches are confident enough to leave the box up here now and head for the sidelines for the celebration. Of course, at the end of this game, as 95 years of tradition dictates, we will have the bucket presentation. It will be remaining in Mount Carmel area once again. But that's one of the fun parts about this tradition with the cheerleaders.
Probably one. Did you say that one point that this is the longest active trophy going back and forth in the state of Pennsylvania?
Yes, I did. Right at the middle goes Lashinsky, some hard running out to the 28-yard line. Gain of 3 in the play to bring up 3rd and 7. The Red Tornadoes are not going to do anything with the ball other than run it right now.
Number 34 is the tailback, Dave Sebastian, and he's a junior. Number 82 goes in, Brian Polifka. He'll go in as your tight end receiver. In fact, he's going out as a wide receiver.
Wisniewski brings him up on a 3rd and 7. And he looks like he was going to go back a pass, but he gives it to Chicatano, and Chicatano
kept his balance.
He kept his balance. He never touched his knee, and he's rolling all the way down the Shamokin sideline into Shamokin territory at the Shamokin Indian 40-yard line, and he looked like he was down, folks.
I'll tell you what.
Let's see if we see that again.
What great balance. He put his hands down.
Here it is. Watch it.
Great delay. There was a delayed handoff. Look for the gap, and then once he gets through the gap, he's looking. Look at right there.
Now, he never touches his knees are never down.
No.
Although the ball was. Isn't the ball down the same thing? No? Okay,
you're asking me again.
I'll take that as an answer.
I don't know.
Well, either way, the ball's on the Indian 40-yard line where it's 1st and 10, Red Tornadoes. Handoff down there is number 37. That's Scheiko with the ball.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll have to ask Coach Claiborne. Coach Claiborne had stopped me today. He says, I was listening to the game the other day, and doing some stuff, and it was on the TV, and I was listening to it. And he says, I heard you and Warren make a comment about illegal substitution on defense. And over at the Southern game last week. And he said, that is a possibility. We didn't know if that could be, if that was the call to be made.
Right.
But he said whatever happens on offense also could happen on defense. And he did make the call. He said that was the correct call. And he explained it to me, and I'm happy these guys do that. Remember Joe Thurway used to do that for us. keep us in the straight and narrow.
Absolutely.
And, you and I don't look at the rule book and everything else.
Ever.
And I'm we'll ask Joe again about what just happened here.
No, and that's really, I think I agree. That's the fun part of us is that, so many people watch this game and enjoy it, and they catch our mistakes, and tell us, and that's good because we've never known anybody be ugly, and that's what we're learning from it. There's so many nuances, as Coach Brennan said, the rules change every year. From year to year, and you're right. I mean, if they gave us rule books, we wouldn't read them. Let's face it, that's not our style.
And not even some coaches don't even do that.
So, but you get a lot of guys who good-naturedly are going to jag you a little bit, but then they tell you, and that's what you like. That's why this is such a. And there's a guy in Shamokin talking to you about it. That's why this rivalry is going for 95 years, and that's why it is such an intense and such a great rivalry between two fabulous communities. All right, we're ready to go. Here's the Indians at a timeout. It's 2nd down and 9 for Sosnowski. And he handed straight up the middle there that's Kyle Bartle. Kyle Bartle, the carrier. He's a junior, or a sophomore, 5'10", 170-pound tailback.
Number 51, Adam Croker in the line. He's in that guard position.
Josh Jaworski trots off the field. Nate Morgan back in the offensive lineup for the Red Tornadoes on a 3rd down now and 9 for the Red Tornadoes in Indian territory at the 39-yard line. Another delay. This one went to Shiko, and this time the Indians were ready for it as he was stopped for just about no gain on the play. It'll bring up 4th down and 9 for the Red Tornadoes. And my guess is here they may go for it. They may just run it. I don't know if they're even going to kick it here.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to even kick it there on the, 37, 38-yard line. Number 76, Jason Boyer's in the game.
Plifka went back in for the Red Tornadoes there. And on the Indian side of ball, number 10, Andrew Durr is now in the lineup. He's replacing Shikatano as he trots off. So Durr will come over here. He's a defensive back. And Sosnowski's going to throw it, and he does. Oh, just out of the reach of number 34 for the Red Tornadoes, Dave Sebastian. Nice throw by Sosnowski.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, he had nice tight spiral on that thing, and it was just a tight high. And you see Coach Brennan goes over, and he said, look, set your feet up nice and neat, and the ball's not going to sail on you that much.
Big number 76 now, Jason Boyer in the lineup for the Red Tornadoes as he'll take his spot in the defensive side of the ball.
Dan Evans, 55 in, playing the tackle position.
We got 5:56 remaining.
Adam Hepler, number 57. Adam's only a freshman, 170 pounds. He's in there.
That's nice to see a freshman in a game like this. I mean, that's what you like to see. That's why you continue to be good football teams year in and year out by doing that. Coach Corm the same way. We'll try to get some of his numbers in there. We don't know them as well. And as we all know, my eyesight has gone south with the rest of me about 10 years ago, but we will do our best to see what's going on that side of the ball. I believe number 9, Donnie Miller's in that lineup down there now. We have 76, Caleb, I believe it's Houston. I think is it Houston?
Yep.
Is that how he says it? He spells it a little differently, but that's who's in there. So we have a different group in there for the Indians too, and as I did with the coaches at Southern last week, I will do again with Carmi. That is a class act.
Yeah,
number 10 in there is Andrew Durr. He will be the quarterback for the Indians. He pitches back in there to number 35 with the ball for the Indians, and that is Devin Shikatano. And I think there'll be a Shikatano in the Shamokin lineup for 100 more years to come. We just never kind of run out of Shikatanos in the Shamokin area. We've had a good crew of them ourselves here.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But they seem to just keep churning them out there. So another Shikatano out of the Shamokin lineup there. I think that's 68 in there, Keith Horn. Also down there on the line. I'm trying to get some of those guys for their Shamokin Indians.
Seth Bauer, number 70, playing the right tackle position.
Durr's going to hand off, and he's brought down in there nicely by number 57. That's Adam Hepler. The freshman brings him down. behind the line of scrimmage, and Epler trots off now. And Epler's going to be a kind of guy I'm going to like.
Oh, yeah.
You like a guy like that. He's just in 9th grade. He's 5'8", 170 pounds already. You gotta like a guy like him. I think I'm going to hear that name a lot. All right, Dirt will bring him up. He's pitching it out there to number 1, and that's Matt Liendo, and he's in trouble from the start there. Liendo goes down for a little bit of a loss. Liendo's 5'5", 130 pounds. You got to give him a lot of credit playing football, and he's also a freshman.
Number 64 playing the tackle position is Matt Lennick.
My hat's off to Carmi in this one. You put kids in there, some freshmen to play in this kind of game, and that's going to bode well for his program. He knows how it works, and he's very good at it. The Indians are now in a punt formation. There's 3:46 remaining in this football game, and it looks like 7. Who is that down there, Wayne? Who's kicking? I can't see the number. 37. Okay.
Nice kick.
That's Tim Krebs with the kick. And brought down immediately down there for the Indians. Let me see who gets off the pile down there. That's number 9 for the Indians, Donnie Miller on the stop. So Tim Krebs, the punter, and he does a nice job of it. The Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes will take over 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line. They lead in the football game 40-0.
Looks like number 12, Rich Litchko, will be taking over as the quarterback.
New quarterback again for the Red Tornadoes. You're right. Litchko's under center there. And he's going to send it back there to Shiko. And Shiko's got himself a head of steam going around a corner. And he's picking up a nice gain. He's going to pick up 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4 for the Tornadoes.
Number 80 going in is Rodney Burcheski. He's going to be the fullback in there. He goes in that position with number 80. I think that would be an offensive end number.
21 for the Indians in there for Zach Uhaw. Zach's a sophomore for the Indians. 64 down there. Matt Lennig is down in that crowd down there.
Number 8, Rich Rings is in. He's in the free safety position.
And number 11 trots in there. That's Wes Griffiths. A lot of Griffiths on this team over the years too. Oh, that's a big family. There's a lot of kids churning out of there. Big 75, John Emmerich into the Mount Carmel area lineup on that offensive line now. They have a timeout on the field. I didn't see who called that one.
I think we did.
But a
just to
timeout
get everybody straightened out, they wanted to get Aramic in, number 76. Get him a little bit of playing time here because, once the ball snapped, that's it. This clock isn't stopping, so.
Going to hand off in there to Shiko again, and Shiko picks up some hard yardage there as he's handed off from Litchko. Litchko comes to the sideline to get the play. No, actually he doesn't. Number 7.
Jeff Hicks,
I believe, will win as quarterback of the Red Tornadoes. Number 7.
No,
here we go. I thought he was this guy. I thought he was going to put Hicks in there because he came off and he stood on the sideline.
Yeah,
See, Litchko has to get that down a little bit yet. He's got to practice that. You don't come off and stand around like looking the other way. You got to be facing the crowd. That way we know you're going back in. I'll teach him that. I got to get a hold of him. Get him at supper club and go over these little nuances with him. Shiko with the ball. Shiko's piling around the end there, and he's going to pick up the first down for the Red Tornadoes down along that Shamokin area bench where he goes out of bounds. The clock continues to run under the mercy rule. It's under 1 minute and 30 seconds now to go in this ball game. I think everybody on both sides of the football, have been in to play football tonight.
Yeah.
And that is a tribute to both coaching staffs. I will always tip my hat to coaches who remember to do that. And Coach Carm and Coach Mike here really did it. Coach Brennan and Coach DeFrancesco. Quarterback keeper now by Litchko, and he's gonna pick up 5 yards on a quarterback keeper. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 5. We're under 1 minute now as the clock continues to wind down. The Red Tornadoes will probably run one more play. And now a new quarterback is in there, Wayne, I believe for sure this time. Litchko is actually unhooking his helmet, so I'm going to go with him. I believe number 11 is in there, and that's Derek Lepotsky, the freshman. 5'10", 155-pound freshman, now at the helm for the Red Tornadoes, and he hands it off quickly in there. And it's a scrum, and I mean it's a scrum.
Burcheski, I'll tell you what, he kept
ball,
on going there. Kept his feet going, and that's coaches like to see that.
So we put a freshman in there in Lepotsky, and they're not going to have to snap another play at 11-10 seconds. The Red Tornadoes on the field, and this is just a gigantic win again in this tough season because, you know, we keep breathing and sigh of relief and saying we get past another quality opponent. We take care of Southern last week. We take care of a tough Indian football team this week. And, you know, all you can think about after a 30-second enjoyment is you got Pottsville coming up next week. So it's just been a minefield of a season so far. But the Red Tornadoes doing their part in keeping this thing rolling. The bucket presentation will be coming shortly. You can see the cheerleaders as they go out to take the bucket out. They'll be met by the Shamokin area cheerleaders as soon as these teams, and you're going to see the players come over to get a picture with that bucket for the Red Tornadoes as they shake hands. Again, it was a great game between two tough rivals.
Yeah.
And it was a clean game. You know, nothing out of the ordinary. It was played well, and that's what you like to see. Great fan support from the Indian side of the ball. Just amazing they were here so early and in force so early. That, you know, if you're a kid playing on Shamokin, you gotta say to yourself, this is the best time of my life. You better remember it, to have that kind of support behind you. And of course, the Red Tornado side of the ball, I mean, absolute standing room only. The end zone bleachers full to capacity. There were no seats in front of us here at all. People ringing the stadium. One of the largest crowds in memory here at the Silver Bowl to watch this game. The Indians just never got on track, never could get anything going. Were hurt by penalties. And just field position. I mean, all the things that you talk about in a football game did it to them. They had all the things go wrong that could go wrong, and they got hurt by it. So, you know, I think they need to look at this as a one-game aberration, and I'm sure Coach DeFrancesco is going to look at that and tell these guys, you know, we're not going to be judged on what happened today.
Right.
It was a bad experience. We got beat. But let's get past this because we got past the 10th. We still got a whole season, and this is still, you know, when you look at this group, they got to remember they're a district potential playoff team still.
They are.
So they got to keep that in mind. They want to lose focus and not let this game screw them up for the season. I think Coach Carm is going to be able to do that. I think
so.
He'll understand that pretty clearly and let them understand it clearly on Monday or Tuesday. And
but again, you know. You take a look over on the other side of the field now, Tornadoes, you know, they took the critics on again.
Yeah.
Those people that said, well, you know, you didn't play anybody yet, and, you know, the Southern team wasn't the Southern teams that we remember, and, you know, so forth.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what, you take a look at these kids, and what's great about this team is, number one, that they've gelled together so quick. We've seen some other teams in the past that took a little bit of time, 4 or 5 games down the road. You know, they finally started to gel together. The offense got their timing down. The defense had to do what they had to do. But this team seemed to come right off the bat in the first game. And, you know, my hat's off to the kids. And that only shows that they prepared for this season. They knew what happened last season. They knew they could control their own destiny last year, and it didn't happen. And this year, now all of a sudden, you see what some leaders do on a team.
Yeah.
They do get everybody. They keep everybody in the game. And, you know, this team is the team that they know they are now.
Yep.
You know, it's the team that's going to go as far as they want to go.
Yep. Actually, you're right. They control their entire destiny from this point forward. They have a big game next week.
Yep.
Quad A, Pottsville, back on the schedule after many, many years off. It's been a great rivalry over the years, and you and I certainly remember that rivalry playing Pottsville. They'll be home here. It's here at the Silver Bowl, so we're going to renew it here first, and that's a good sign. I always like to play in front of the home crowd. Down the line, as you look down the line, of course, still some tough games. You got Sinnings Grove to finish this season up with.
Yep.
You got Danville stuck in there somewhere, and you know there's some tough games. But a rivalry like this with this kind of crowd to come out and play this kind of football says a whole lot about Mount Carmel area Red Tornadoes.
Yeah.
I feel very good about it. I know the coaching staff does. We did not see any obvious injuries on either side of the ball. Thank you for that, for the Indians and the Tornadoes. Win or lose, you don't want to have a kid get hurt. The Red Tornadoes have been stung by 2 major injuries in the last 2 weeks now, so they know what that feels like. But this kind of win kind of soothes that, at least for a little while anyway. And we'll look forward to next week. Supper Club, remember, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, or say 8 o'clock, 6:30 tomorrow night at Matucci's in that back room. If one of your sons are coming or your daughters, the cheerleaders being going to be there, show up. You can only show up one time if you want. You can show up at them all. It's a great crowd, a lot of friends, a lot of nice people there. Interested in the team. The players will be there to mingle with us and talk about the Crimson Tide. And of course, Coach will be answering all kinds of questions about this game and the upcoming one. And a quick thank you once again to everybody on both sides of this stadium tonight for that food drive. A fantastic food drive. It was the first one, and I'll tell you what, if it's the first one, it's only going to get better because it was just a great kickoff, inaugural food drive, and it's a great way to keep a rivalry like this where it belongs. Out front in the community, you do some good, you get a great night of football, and people at Thanksgiving and Christmas are going to benefit all the way down the line. So thanks again to all you fine people in Shamokin area and Mount Carmel area. And again, we will see you in a couple of days in the Silver Bowl for the Crimson Tide of Pottsville. For WKMC TV and its entire crew, I am Warren Altamar.
And Wayne Brokenshire.
Good night.